white flag waving, this is to the bitter end. 'Cause this is what I live for, I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. I take another swing, so I never miss, no, no, this is what I live for. It's time to kiss the ring, oh, I'm trying to get cold. 'Cause this is what I live for, this is what I live for. I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. So what's the damage? If you got bones with what I said, I didn't plan this, but I'll keep going till I'm dead. I don't need company, no, I'll ride alone instead. You might want something, 'cause you're cleaning up my mess. I don't wanna see that white flag waving, this is to the bitter end. 'Cause this is what I live for, I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. I take another swing, so I never miss, no, no, this is what I live for. It's time to kiss the ring, oh, I'm trying to get cold. 'Cause this is what I live for, this is what I live for. I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. I don't wanna see that white flag waving, this is to the bitter end. 'Cause this is what I live for, I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. I take another swing, so I never miss, no, no, this is what I live for. It's time to kiss the ring, oh, I'm trying to get cold. 'Cause this is what I live for, this is what I live for. I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. This is what I live for. This is what I live for. This is what I live for.
Hello, everybody. I am so excited to share my next guest with you today because she's a powerhouse woman. She's a co-host of the TV series and TV show of VH1, and she's an entrepreneur. She has her PR agency that she's running and gunning with her fiance. I think that you're running, right, and doing the whole thing, and he's just kind of like there to kind of like be a great support. He's awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, she is such a powerhouse. She became a good friend when we connected here in Las Vegas, running in the same circles. And she is that powerhouse woman that you want to be around, that you want to learn, that as a sponge, be a sponge around her and learn her wisdom, learn from her experiences. She has, the boot camp that she is helping people to be on TV and be their best. So with no further ado, Jen Gottlieb, welcome to this interview today. And I'm so excited that you found the time in your busy schedule. So thank you so much.
Marina, anytime I get to be around you, I told you this at dinner, anytime I get to be around you and soak up your amazing powerhouse energy, I am game. So I'm so excited to be here today.
I love it. I love it. And I'm doing this series, right, of the interviews with powerful women, and a lot of them are inside of network marketing space. You are outside of this space, but you've been in the kind of like women empowerment space for quite some time, right? You are a powerful woman in your own right, and you helping men and women step into their power, into their potential in their different fields. But for people who do not necessarily know you inside of our community, can you just share with me and all of them what Jan, like a 3-year-old Jan, looked like? What was your family upbringing? Were they entrepreneurially minded? Were they empowering and encouraging? What were your hopes and dreams when you were a little girl? Tell us about that.
Yeah. Oh, Maria, I love this question. I haven't gotten asked this in a long time. I actually just got goosebumps because I love talking about my family and my childhood. So when I was a little girl, I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to sing and dance and be on TV. And I was the biggest ham ever, Marina. If there was ever a moment that I was not singing and dancing on a table, it was weird. And my parents encouraged me. They always encouraged me to speak my truth, to be loud and proud, to be powerful, to never depend on anybody else. They always empowered me to do that. And I truly believe that that's why I have such a loud mouth now. And that's why I'm, very, very, very empowered now. But there actually was a moment in time that I think happens for many of us where, I grew up as this really outgoing child, and I had temper tantrums. I ran around naked. I wore whatever I wanted to, as we do as children, because we have innate confidence when we're little kids. And then, middle school happens, and all of a sudden you really start to care about what other people think. And all of that innate confidence kind of starts to dwindle down. And for me, I stopped being so proud of being weird and out there and, shining bright. And I started really trying to do everything that I could to be this version of myself that could fit in with the cool kids in school, or to be accepted. And I say this because I think many of us are still dealing with that, right? Like many of us are still dimming our lights to fit in, or to make other people like us, or are worried about what other people think. And that we're not born with that. I was born loud and proud and confident, and then something happened and it started to go away. And I had to work really, really hard to be able to, and I still work really hard every single day to use the tools and the mindset tricks and tips that I know to be able to get myself out of that fear of what other people think, or out of that mindset of caring so much about fitting in and being something else for somebody, for them to like me or whatever, to be able to just be me. And the more that I step into being that little girl that was loud and proud, dancing and singing on tables. Well, I'll dance and sing on tables sometimes. We go out and have a good time at night, but maybe not right now. But when I get back to that little girl that's innately in me, not giving a crap about what anybody thinks, that is when my powerhouse woman, like what you talk about, comes out. And that is when I can sell more. And that is when my business flourishes. And that is when, we help the most people and we make the biggest impact. So while I had this unbelievable childhood where my parents really poured into me, there was still that moment where I second guessed myself, and I got into that trap of caring too much what other people thought. And I still have to courageously currently get myself out of that every single day.
It's so interesting because I have a little bit, kind of similar story, because when I was little, my mom told me that I can achieve anything I want in life. I'm strong and powerful, and I can achieve all of my dreams. And I was naive enough and I believed that, right? But then, like you said, life started happening to me in different circumstances, different relationships, put me down big time, to the point where I stopped believing in myself, to the point when I was actually disgusted by the person who I've become, because my previous relationship was verbally abusive. And I started buying into those stories that I'm a bad mom, that I'm a bad wife, that I am a bad businesswoman, that I'm everything horrible that you can possibly imagine. And those voices kind of became so loud and clear in my head that I forgot that power and strength that I was given by my mom since I was a little girl. And, coming out of that is hard. Coming out of the kind of disbelief and disgust to yourself is hard, because you find yourself in the place of pretty much hopelessness. Because, when you have that internal drive, when you have that internal power, you can figure out everything. But when you feel like you are the lowest scumbag and you cannot accomplish anything because of that, it's just really hard. So it took me time to find my voice and strength and power back. And when I did, I made myself a promise. I'll do my best, anything I can possibly do, to help a lot of men and women to, if they had that voice before and they lost it along the journey, to find that voice and strength and power and confidence again. Or to those millions and millions of women who did not have that gift to begin with, who were told since they were a little girl that you're nothing, that you're nobody, you cannot achieve big dreams, to all of these girls, to help them build that power and strength and remind them of who they are. You know, like you said, you being your best when you remember that 3-year-old girl, when you being free, when you being loud and bold and outrageous and just being you. I think it's so powerful because so many people are buying into that nonsense of what other people think. And all of you guys in the comments, just put in the chat below, what do you think? Like, first of all, did you have that gift of confidence since you were a little girl or a little guy, a little boy, or you were told since you were tiny that you cannot dream big dreams? So I'm curious to see what you guys, what your experience was. But back into the kind of like buying the everybody else's opinion is just, it's a long conversation. It's a big topic. So I want to ask you, like, what helped you to overcome that? What helped you to kind of like said, you know what, screw it. I am who I am, and I'm going to be loud and proud of who I am moving forward. Was there any like a defining moment or something that happened that helped you just to kind of like flip the switch?
There were so many defining moments along the way. And I love the quote, the Steve Jobs quote, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards, right? Because there were moments in my life where I thought my whole entire world was crashing down and everything was ending. And now that I look backwards at that time, and this is usually the case, right, Marina, when you look back at the hardest times, I look back at those times and I'm like, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. That was the defining moment. That was another defining moment. And all of those dots, those defining moments they add up to, you know, where, at least where I've gotten to today, where I have so much more innate confidence and I'm like, screw it, I'm just going to be me. Right. But it didn't just automatically happen. It was all of those dots leading up to it. One of the big defining moments for me was one of the biggest, I call it shit to shift moments, right? So sometimes shit has to happen for the shift to happen. And I was completely out of alignment in my life. I was on this VH1 show, right? Where I was a hard rock and heavy metal chick. So on social media and in the public eye, I was this big haired, super tan, super sexy rock and roll girl. And that couldn't have been further from who I was. I didn't like heavy metal music. I mean, I had a great job, making great money, being on TV. It was awesome, but I was lost. I had lost who I was, because here I was being a version of myself that I thought everybody else liked. And I needed to be that in order to be loved or be accepted or be on TV. And I always tell people that when you're out of alignment in what you do for a living, you're probably out of alignment in your life too. And so it trickled into my life. I was in a relationship that was completely toxic. I became severely bulimic. I was addicted to Adderall. I was in a severe depression. And usually the universe will come in when you are out of alignment and it will smack you right on back into alignment. And usually that smack will hurt. And I couldn't get myself out of that situation. So the universe came in and did it for me. And within a few days of it, it was like a week-long span, I went from having a TV show to the TV show being canceled, having a boyfriend that I thought I was going to marry, found out he was cheating on me with someone that we knew, living in a multi-million-dollar apartment with him in New York City. So I had a couple of days to move out of that apartment. And I found myself in a tiny little room in an apartment with 6 other actors, with a window that faced a brick wall, with no job, not a lot of money, no connections, no boyfriend. And I had to start my life over. And at that moment, I remember looking out that window at that brick wall, and I had this journal, and I would write down in the journal every single day, one day I will know why this happened. One day I will know why this happened. One day. And every day, that's like all I could do was write that down, because I had nothing else. And I thought to myself, I said, this is my chance. If I don't start over now and I don't start figuring out who the hell I am now and start showing up and using all of this energy and all of this boldness and all of these gifts that I was given in a good way that's in alignment with me, I'm never going to do it. So I dove into personal development, Marina. I dove in. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to figure out who the hell I am and what I want, but I'm going to do it. And one step at a time, I started to build my life, and I started to build a business based on me. And I started to take the mask off. And it wasn't easy, right? It was one little baby step at a time. And I tell people, you don't really need to believe in anything 100%. We're human beings. Sometimes we don't believe 100%. Most of the time, we don't believe 100%, right? Sometimes we're at 89%. Sometimes we're at 98%. Sometimes we're at 2%. You just have to believe a little bit more than you don't. 51%, that's my number. Because I believed 51% that I could do all the things that I was manifesting, that I was thinking about. There was still doubt, but I believed. And that 51% got me to the next action step. And then that action step would get me a win. I'd be like, holy shit, okay, now I'm at 52%, let's go. And then that 52% would get me to the next action step. And then I would take action again, even though I was scared and I didn't really believe that much, but it got me a win. And I created a business and I started making 6 figures. And I'm like, okay, I'm at 54% now, let's go. And slowly, one step at a time, I realized action by action by action, my life started to change. And so every single time I went to go do something scary or show up as me or take off the mask a little bit more, it became easier and easier and easier. And that's how it works.
I love it. It just, a lot of people for some reason think that, first of all, if you are in the public eye, especially like actress, you're big time on TV and everybody think that your life is like shiny penny and you were given everything and you don't have any problems in life and you don't have any challenges in life. But like you said, the biggest challenge that you had, you were so out of the alignment of your public persona and of your private persona of who you truly are. And yeah, sometimes universe is going to give you a big slap in the face to wake you up from that lie, to wake you up from that situation that you are in. And it might look pretty, that kind of like the cover of the book is pretty, but you don't necessarily see what's actually happening behind the closed doors. So I do believe that everything happens for a reason. And every single circumstance, mistake or failure that I've made in my life and the hurdles that and betrayals and all of those different things that I had to go through in my life, they made me who I am. I am the result of all of those mistakes, failures, obstacles, and challenges and betrayals. So I would not change a single one of those. I would, my biggest thing, I would just only start believing in myself and dreaming bigger, faster. That would be the only thing I would change if I would go back. So now knowing what you know, right? And kind of like going through the experiences that you went through, is there something that you would change in your childhood or kind of like the way you approach life?
I don't regret any of it. Like what you said, Marina, everything happens for a reason. And I am so grateful for all of the fuck ups. I hope I can curse on here. I'm so grateful for all of the times that I was completely out of alignment or shit hit the fan, because that's what makes us who we are. And I needed to have those things happen in order to learn and in order to grow. And I guess the only thing that if I could turn back time or if I could say something to my younger self, it would just be like, you're perfect just the way that you are. You are perfect just the way that you are. Stop looking left and right, trying to be like this person or this person and waiting till you're like this person to have it all together to go. You are the only version of you. And this is what I would say to anybody listening right now. You guys let us know in the comments if you're feeling us. This is what I would say to the former me, right? There is only one you. And there are going to be people out there that only resonate with you. They don't resonate with anybody else, only you. So if you're not being you, they're not going to be able to find you and their lives are not going to be able to change. So speak up and be loud and be proud and be exactly who you are. Flawed, imperfect, messy, unfiltered, right? Like that's you, that's real. And that's what people are going to resonate with, especially in network marketing too. I know a lot of your people listening right now are in network marketing. And I'm sure that is what it's all about is just telling your story authentically who you are, because that's what's going to attract your ideal customer.
Yeah, I remember the story that I told you at the dinner. Remember about the waitress at the Day Beach Club? So yeah. I just wanted to tell it to everybody because, and it just kind of like to kind of like go off what you just said, that just be who you are and don't worry about people's opinion. Don't worry about any of that stuff, because you are a very unique you with your unique gifts, with your unique talents and skills. And yes, there are people who have different talents and different skills and different abilities, but we cannot all be exactly the same. You know, we were born different. Yes, we have similar hopes and dreams and ideas and desires in life. We all have absolutely the same basic needs, you know, basic human needs, like Tony Robbins is teaching. But we are all unique in our presence, and embracing your uniqueness is a big deal. And giving yourself a pass on the things that you are not necessarily happy, or your weaknesses, or sometimes the way your body looks, or sometimes the way you talk, sometimes the way, whatever it might be, is really important. And I'll give you one example. So a couple of years ago, before the whole COVID, Eric and I were at the beach club here in Las Vegas. I think it was a Father's Day. So we're celebrating with a lot of different couples, having a great time. We have a beautiful cabana. And there is a girl who is our waitress. And obviously in the beach club, they're wearing like just a bikini, and that's about it. And you can see her body is like gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, in shape, like zero body fat, and pretty girl. I mean, it's like really pretty girl. So I'm just like, man, I wish my body was like that. And I'm just sitting with my flax here and there, kind of like hiding it with my hands, kind of like trying to sit up straight. So kind of like there's less wrinkles. And I'm looking at her and I'm just like, man, I wish I had a body like her. And then I immediately caught myself on another thought. So first of all, she is probably working out more than I do. And because it's her job requirement, I'm sure she's very, very cautious of what she's eating, right? So she's probably cannot eat everything she would like to, because she's watching her weight. Because if she's not in a very good shape, she definitely going to lose that job, because at the pool cabanas, they want all the girls perfect, right? So it's her, first of all, it's part of her job to be in shape. My job is different, right? I'm not being paid of being in shape. It would be nice for me to be in shape, but I'm not getting paid for that. I have different talents and different skills. So I kind of like, that is going through my mind like in a split of a second. And I'm just like, okay, so I guess if I was paid for that, maybe I would pay a little bit more attention to my body and make it a priority, right? So on the other side, I started thinking, it's like, well, she is the one serving me, right? I'm the one being there as a client, right? Who can afford to be there. And this is her job. So maybe her life, not as glitz and glamour as her body looks like, right? So she probably has a lot of different issues and circumstances and sacrifices that she's making in life, and probably would rather trade places with me on any given day and trade my overly weighted body with her body and being in my place. So when I ask myself a question, would I want to trade places with her? And the answer is absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would not want to trade places with her, because sometimes when you see a pretty picture, when people being, strong and powerful, and if you did not walk in their shoes, you do not necessarily know what they're going through. So I realized that me being who I am, with all my imperfections, with all of my weaknesses and whatever else I have that I'm blaming myself or complaining to myself about, I need to shut up and be grateful, because I'm in a different position. I'm the one who is able to enjoy life in that particular moment, and she's the one making that enjoyment happen by servicing me. And I realized, like, you know what? If you do not want to trade places with people, stop being not necessarily judgmental, but stop wishing for having what you think they have, whatever the happiness you think that's going to bring you. Because trust me, just a perfect body is not going to make you happy. Just a really good job is not going to make you happy. Just making a lot of money is not going to make you happy. Embracing who you are will. Loving yourself the way you are will, loving yourself unconditionally, that's what's going to make you happy, because then you're going to be proud of who you are. Then you're going to be putting your shoulders back a little bit more. Then you're going to be carrying yourself with a little bit different posture. And guess what? The whole world going to notice you, and the whole world going to start embracing you way better than you ever thought. Because most of the time, the criticism that we have about our own self goes unnoticed by the rest of the world. Have you noticed that, Jen?
1,000%. Listen, nobody's judging you because they are spending too much time judging themselves, if you really think about it. And my favorite quote of all time that I remind myself of pretty much every single day is, I say, Jen, when you love yourself as much as you care what other people think, you'll change your life. Right? If we took all of that energy worrying about the outside and what other people think and what we look like to other people and what the waitress looks like and what someone's filtered photo looks like compared to our real life body, if we spent all that energy and we just put it onto loving ourselves, we would do anything. We would have so much power within us to do absolutely anything that we want. And I think I told you this at dinner, like I have my badass list that I read every day to remind myself of how amazing I am, because sometimes we just need a reminder, because we're humans. And sometimes we get caught up in looking at other people and thinking how great other people are, and maybe thinking, oh, I'm not good enough to do that, or who am I to speak there? Or who am I to do a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live, right? And we stop ourselves because of imposter syndrome, right? Or thinking like, gosh, I'm not as great as all these other people, so I'm just going to wait until I am. And that time never comes, because that's just a belief. That's not a reality. So sometimes we need to give ourselves a reminder of how amazing we are. And what I do, and what I've taught over and over again, this has helped a lot of people, and I invite every single person that's on this Facebook Live to do this, is I make a badass list. And what that is I take out my iPhone, because I always have my iPhone on me. I don't always have my notebook, but I always have my phone. And I open up the notes in my iPhone and I write a list of all of the moments in my life that I was a badass, right? Like every moment. And it could be a massive moment, like a moment when I was on stage speaking in front of thousands of people, or, when we, made our first like 7-figure sale or something like that big, when I was so proud of myself and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm a badass. Or it could be a really simple moment, like the day I met my fiance, right? Like for you, maybe a really private moment with your child, right? When you gave birth or something, or you ran a marathon, anything where you were like, go me, write it down. And then anytime you are feeling like, oh, I wish I had the body of that waitress, or, oh, I wish I had the business like that person, or, oh, I wish that my Instagram looked like that person's, take out your phone and read that list as if you are reading it about somebody else. And then I want you to ask yourself, is this person impressive? Is this person worthy of doing all the things that I'm not doing right now because I'm scared? I guarantee you will say, hell yeah, this person's pretty awesome. In fact, this person's pretty badass. And then remember that person is you. And if you can do all those things, my God, what can't you do? Nothing. So that tool has been very powerful for me personally and for lots of people that I know. So I hope everybody here does their badass list in their phone today.
All right, put in the comments below if you're gonna do the badass list. I love it. It's so cool because my kind of like I don't know how you call it, my handle, my motto, whatever. I consider myself a badass, right? And I have a lot of different things that kind of like surround me with the reminder. It's like I have a badass mom on my desk. I have a badass plates on my car. I have all kinds of like badass reminders, because they're going to be days when you don't feel like it. They're going to be days when you're going to be questioning yourself, your strength, your courage, your association, your passions. You'll be questioning a lot of different things. And sometimes, strong women need a shoulder also to kind of like lean on and cry on sometimes. So first of all, having that shoulder in the form of another girlfriend, or in the form of your spouse or significant other, or whoever it might be, is important, but also it's important to be that person for yourself. and put the stickers anywhere in your house or do whatever gonna remind you that you are a badass every single day, even when you don't feel like it. Because yeah, it sounds sexy. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm so powerful, I'm so strong. But that means with all of that name, right, and kind of like nicknames and stuff, there comes the responsibility to, every single day to put on your bad boy, a big boy and big girl pants and go face challenges and go face your fears and go continue to grow and explore new heights and new ways of contributing, new ways of being a better woman, better mom, better man, better wife, better whatever you want to be. Because in my opinion, there are only two ways that our life going to go. We're either climbing the mountain or we're sliding down. The time on the top of the mountain is very small. And I'm not talking about it financially. Yeah, you can still be successful, but continue to climb the mountain. What I mean by climbing is the constant learning and growing process, because, it's just like flower. It's growing, it's blooming. And when it's done blooming, it's dying. So I just want to encourage every single one of you to continue to grow, to continue to, stay true to yourself and associate yourself with a lot of fun and amazing people. And that's what we're going to be doing at the Most Powerful Women event. So and I'm sure you already heard about it, unless you live on the moon, then maybe you didn't, because I've been pounding on it for a long time now. But make sure you register, because the event is absolutely free. There are going to be a bunch of links here. You can see it. My team is posting it. So it's on pw2021.com. Any single woman that you know, inside or outside of network marketing space, has to be at this event, because we will be talking a lot about mindset. We will be talking a lot about, belief or disbelief in yourself. We will be talking a lot about overwhelm. We will be talking a lot about, how do you deal with a rejection, or how do you deal with other people's opinion that's stopping you from playing big. We will be talking a lot of issues that are specific to women, how to build as a single mom, or how to find that balance with your spouse when one of you is not supported. So a lot of those different things going to be covered at that event. So make sure you register. But Jen, I want to ask you, what next 5 years in your life looks like, in your personal life and your business life? What's in the store for you in the next 5 years?
5 years. So my ultimate goal, I want to speak. I want to be, and I used to say I want to be the best female speaker in the world, but I'm not even going to say that anymore, because I would like to just be the best speaker in the world. I want to speak on stages. I really, truly believe that I've been given these gifts. I used to be a performer, right? I used to be on Broadway, and I used to think that my life would be that I would wait for someone to pick me and tell me I'm good enough to be in a show. And I would read somebody else's lines and I would sing somebody else's songs and I would get paid to do that. And I always thought that was almost the limiting belief, that was going to be my future. And when I discovered I could be an entrepreneur and create my own opportunities, and then on top of it, use the talents that I have around being on stage to help other people, I was like, oh man, there's nothing better than this. So my plan is to, yes, with Super Connector Media, we're building this agency. We're helping some of the biggest personal brands, biggest companies, biggest, most impactful tech startups get their messages into the media. So we're building our company, and I want to speak on stages and help other people be confident and be visible and show up. And so our Be on TV Bootcamp and Be Seen Accelerator and all of those programs, we're gonna blow those up and we're gonna grow them. But most importantly, with the intention, it's not about me. It's not about us. It's not about our company. It's about the people that we're going to impact and the people that they are going to impact, because they were able to, get out of their own way and be visible and talk about what they do and show up in the media and do Instagram lives and Facebook lives and be on TV and be seen. And because of that, they're going to impact other people, and the people that they impact, they're going to impact their friends and people that they know. And so I truly believe that it's my responsibility to use what I've been given, right? And I feel like this is everybody's responsibility, right? Use what we've been given and shout it from the rooftops and be as visible and as loud and as shiny and as bold as our little 3-year-old selves were, to be able to impact and inspire others to do the same. So that's my goal in 5 years. And I hope to do that, starting now and every day.
I love it. I love it. And you know what? It's interesting because like you said, that limiting belief was that you only can read the lines of somebody else's story, but now you feel like you're finally stepping into your power because you have a story. You don't have to read the lines of somebody else's story. You have the story. You have the journey that is powerful and impactful, and sharing it with millions and millions of people is really, really important because, when sometimes, like you said, one day I'll know why I'm going through these challenges. One day I'll find out what's the answer. And I think the answer is you going through those challenges and then you being able to come out of that as a winner and as a strong and a powerful woman on the other side, and you sharing those experiences, sharing that pain, but sharing that learning process with a lot of other people, that will empower them to realize, because some people right now might be going through the winter and they are questioning, and maybe they're just like you that many years ago, whatever was it, looking at that brick wall and asking, why me? Why this is happening to me? Why now? Why all of those different challenges are thrown in my way? But hearing you to say how you overcame those obstacles and challenges will empower them. And that's probably one of the biggest, first of all, legacies that we can create, but also I think it's the biggest answer to your question, because in order for you to get on the other side, you need to go through all of those obstacles and challenges so you can pour into other people and you can be that blessing to them and empower them and inspire them to have that another person who believes in them. And I want every one of you to know that Jen and I believe in each and every one of you watching this live right now. And I know whatever winter you might be going through, just remember, after every winter, spring is coming. Spring is coming. No matter what are the hurdles, no matter what are the challenges and obstacles you might be in right now, that winter season that you might be battling with, remember, it's not going to be forever. You're going to come out of that winter much more powerful, much stronger, ready to change your life and ready with your story impact millions and millions of lives of others. So this is super exciting. And Jen, I want to be respectful to your time. I know you have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of exciting projects and things that are happening. I'm so grateful for your time. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to have this girls chit chat with that we can share with everybody. So give some love, give some heart to Jen. She's amazing. She's a rock star. I'm sure you're going to see her more on a lot of different stages and our stages. I'm sure we're just getting started, warming up. I was grateful and blessed to share my friend Jen with all of you guys. So Jen, do you have any kind of like closing comments to people who might be questioning themselves right now or thinking like, oh, I want to be just like Jen, but I'm not there yet?
Yeah. First of all, I need to acknowledge you, Marina. You guys that are watching right now, you're in Marina's community, so you are in good hands. And if you just surround yourself with powerhouse women like Marina, powerhouse men and women, you will always be on that right mindset. It's all about who you surround yourself with, right? Like we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And so she's having an event. If you don't sign up for that event right now and you're sitting here thinking, oh my God, I want to be like Jen, I want to be like Marina, I'm going through a rough time. And she's inviting you to something where you could learn how to be better and surround yourself with probably hundreds of thousands of other amazing women that want to do the same. If you pass up that opportunity, then you don't really want it. So the best thing, we talked about this earlier, is taking action, right? Taking action before you're ready, taking action even when it feels scary, understanding that the fear is going to be there, right? And we got to just make friends with that fear anyways, put it in the passenger seat of the car and just go anyway. I say to fear, I'm like, listen, you can be in the passenger seat of the car. I get it. You're going to be here, but I'm driving. You can't touch the steering wheel. You can't touch the radio. You can't even sing. Okay. You can be in the car, but you got to shut up. And I'm going to be in control. Right. So join Marina's event. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, I love what you said about, winter does not last forever. Right. No matter what, discomfort is temporary, but the growth that comes from the discomfort is permanent. So if you can remember that, then you're free to do absolutely anything, because nothing is going to last forever. So I'm so grateful I got to spend this time with you, Marina. You always lift me up. You always inspire me. And I'm just so grateful for everybody here that's watching. And I can't wait for them to experience your next event. I know it's going to be epic.
I love it so much. Thank you so much, Jen. And I really appreciate it. Like I said, your time, your wisdom, your experiences. You guys gonna hear more from Jen inside of our community. Give her some hearts, give her some love. And thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to, sharing more with our community, your amazing power, light, and wisdom. Thank you so much, Jen, and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Marina.